wherever you are, I want you to take, and especially you, Alex, I want you to take your left hand. I want to put it over your left eye. Now take your right hand and put it over your right eye. And now, as if, I don't know, the most beautiful woman in the world just took her top off, take your hands off your eyes. Peekaboo! It's Play PSVR, the podcast. Welcome. Did you miss us? I'm sure you did. Did you miss me, Alex?
I was expecting to see the most beautiful woman in the world with her top off, and I took my hands off my eyes, and it was you, Adam. That's what I saw. And I was happily surprised. It was a great joy for me to see that. To see your face where the heaving bosoms are supposed to be.
Hey, my face could be the bosoms. Remember that one picture?
Oh, yeah. It's like the alien.
I forgot who. Dang it. I hate that I forgot who drew that for us. But that's right. My face could be a bosom. And, we did miss last week, Alex, but I'm raring to go. I honestly don't have too much to talk about PSVR-wise, but you got some good stuff to talk about, games you've played, right?
Yeah, I could talk about it a little bit. In our little hiatus, I dove back into some of my backlog of PSVR games. I can talk about that. But we do have a game to review this week, Adam. Would you like to? This is the Power A Play of the Week this week. Oh, no, we got to do Gamer Juice first. All right.
Look at 1 week off, and this guy's a total. Look, he's freaking in shambles.
Yeah, I'm a mess.
Forgot how to play Peekaboo. What a bum. Okay, my Gamer Juice. This was a rather impromptu segment, so I wasn't fully prepared, and so I just got iced tea with lemon. No big deal. But both having the Scraper and Labradex Studio little mug. I love it.
It says Scraper 2018 in VR on the bottle, but the game definitely came out in 2019.
I think maybe for PC VR it came out in 2018.
There is no PC VR version of the game, and as far as I'm concerned.
Touche. So I got iced tea with lemon. What do you got?
So my father-in-law came into town, and I heard that he liked V8, and there was coincidentally a sale at Amazon for V8, the tomato juice drink, vegetable juice drink. You could get like 30 of them for $5. And so I ordered it, thinking like, hey, I'll do a solid for my father-in-law, hook him up with some V8. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like V8 that much. He was only here for a couple of days. He drank 1 can and bounced. So now I have 29 cans of V8 that I need to drink to empty out my fridge. So the Gamer Juice this week is V8. It's tomato juice. It basically tastes like salty ketchup. Salty ketchup.
Dude, does it really? That is disgusting.
Yeah.
Dude, that's going to be your Gamer Juice for the next 4 months.
I'll probably drink all of it between now and the next time we finally record a podcast. But yeah, it's you grow used to it, and it's the one thing I can drink that my daughter also doesn't want to drink, so I can get away with drinking as much as I want, baby. Woo, I'm getting lit on V8.
Dude, you should just put some alcohol in that can.
Is that your answer to everything, Adam?
Your daughter is so stupid that she won't realize that there isn't alcohol in that V8 can.
I mixed it with orange juice, and she told me it was bad.
See, it's a good plan. Okay, here's the thing. You did play Tokyo Chronos, and I saw maybe 4 minutes of your stream because apparently YouTube blocks the stream of it. So I saw 4 minutes of what the game is like. But before I just start telling you what I think about it, how about you tell me what it really is like?
Okay. Yeah, so the stream got cut off pretty quickly, and it's probably for the best because if you watch somebody stream this game, you're basically just watching the game. This game, Tokyo Chronos, brought to us by Seikai Project Inc. They're the people who brought us Project Lux, and I think they have another game like that. It is exactly what you would imagine a visual novel to be. So, Adam, I don't think you're familiar with visual novels, but it's a game genre that's kind of come out from Japan, and it's picked up a decent bit of steam. Really, you're basically just reading books. It's like reading a novel, only there's a visual component to it in the sense that you can see the characters talking and moving. Now, this is a VR visual novel. And so instead of just seeing these 2D characters pop up on your screen with words underneath them, you actually are in an environment. And these characters, they're not really fully animated, but they're moving about in an environment, and you're in a 3D setting. And so, sometimes they're standing next to you. Sometimes you'll hear footsteps behind you. You got to turn around and see who's talking to you. And the game's entirely in Japanese, so everything is subtitled. So there's still a lot of reading happening unless you're fluent in Japanese. The game is $49.99, by the way, so that's a pretty hefty price. However, the game is pretty long. It's like 20 hours long. It's fully voice acted. You got a whole lot to get through here if you enjoy this kind of game. So does that start you off, Adam? Do you have any questions right off the bat for me, or do you just want me to keep going?
I mean, 20 hours that's a lot. And for a visual novel, I feel like that's too long. If it were an action game, I think that would be pretty sweet. But just to sit there and so a visual novel is you're sitting, do you help pick some of the decisions and then you see those decisions unfold in like a comic book type of.
So for the first long chunk of the game, there's no decisions to be made whatsoever. And I thought that the whole game was just going to be me, experiencing the story, which I was cool with. But then there was one point where suddenly I have to make a choice. And so in making that choice, you could save however much you want, as many save.
Can you lose?
Yeah, so there's as many save states as you want. So you can save. So I saved at the point of this choice, and I explored both choices. And I didn't realize you could lose, but you can, because I did one choice and it carried along to the next chapter and things were good. And so I stopped and went back and tried the other choice. And like basically right off the bat, the character was narrating to himself, I think I made a bad decision. And so I was like, oh, obviously this is the bad choice. Maybe we'll see how this recoups. And the story just kept going for like another 30 minutes. And the dude kept saying like, oh, I think I made a bad choice
30
here.
Minutes, just
yeah.
Kill him.
There was just a bunch of stuff going on, and like it was walking you down that path to see why this is a bad choice. So instead of it just being like a bam, you're dead, it was just like then this happened, then this happened, then this happened, and now you're dead. That's the bad ending. And so you can finish this game in like 5 hours, and you'll get an extremely bad ending. And it was actually kind of cool to experience because it was kind of a creepy ending. I don't want to get into spoilers, but it was surprising and creepy.
So because some games kind of like this where you help make the decision, it's fairly obvious what you should do and the option that you should pick. The one game that reminds me of what I'm discussing is I think there was an episode of that Angry Video Game Nerd where he played this game called Plumbers Don't Wear Ties, and this woman goes for a job interview, and then the guy hits on her, and you had to make the decision, does she want to take her clothes off or not? And so it's obvious that, okay, you shouldn't have her take her clothes off, but the dude, the Angry Video Game Nerd, chooses it to see what happens. And then it has like somewhat of a, little line of things. So is it like that obvious of choices of what you should and shouldn't do?
It was not an obvious choice. And so I'll explain the story a little bit without doing too many spoilers. Basically what happens is you just appear in the middle of downtown Shibuya, which is like a small city inside Tokyo.
Are you Sora?
No, you're not Sora, Adam.
Because the next Kingdom Hearts is taking place there apparently or something.
It's a popular area of Tokyo, so it's like a pretty famous location. Anyways, so you just appear. You have very little memory of even who you are. You know who you are, but of like your past, you can kind of recognize that some of your memory is gone. And so you go down to the downtown area. The whole place is deserted. It seems like time has stopped, and you have, I think, 7 or 8 of your childhood friends who you've known since elementary school. They are all there with you. And you are encircled in this giant glass cylinder contained in this one suburb of Shibuya, and you can't escape, and there's nobody else there, and you kind of have to figure out why you're there and how to get out. And when you and your friends are trying to figure that out, you look up at a billboard, and it says, I am dead. Who am I? Who is I? Something like that. And you're trying to find out. Apparently, there was a murder, and the only way to get out of this trapped area is to find out who the murderer is, and one of the 8 of you are the murderer. So that's the story. And, really the story is you're kind of trying to solve the mystery of what this place is and what's going on, also trying to figure out who the killer is. And so the area, the first choice that was presented to me, and the one that is kind of a not obvious decision, was I was basically hiding out with one character, and another character was kind of tracking us and hunting us down. And that character came up some steps, and we could hear them coming up the steps, and they were saying something that was enticing to me. And so it was like, okay, bam, now, do you want to go reach out and talk to that character who's coming up the steps, hunting you down because they said something you're interested in, or do you want to stay with this person that you're hiding out with and try to escape somewhere else? And so it's like, okay, both of these sound reasonable to me, but I picked the one that I was just going to go, I naturally wanted to go with. That ended up being the right decision because I'm a naturally smart person is what that means. But yeah, until I picked the other decision, I didn't realize that there was an obviously like end game bad decision that could be made. I don't know how many more of these there's going to be in the game. I haven't beaten the game. I'm like 10 hours into it, so I'm about halfway through. I'm very interested in the story now. I am very surprised that the game has Steam and I want to continue to play it, even though playing it consists of me sitting on the floor with my VR headset on, leaned back against the couch, and then just hitting the X button every once in a while. You can even hold down the X button and the game will autoplay. It'll just roll through the text, roll through the dialogue, everything for you. You just sit there and watch it.
It's like an interactive. It's not even an interactive.
It is
because Bandersnatch, when they did it for
Netflix,
Black Mirror, it had a lot of choices. This is like, whatever. I'm glad you like it, though. I'm glad you like it. It does sound like an interesting, I guess, plot. Like, that intrigues me. But to think that, okay, I made a decision where my character is going to die, and it takes 5 hours to go down the rabbit hole for him to finally lose.
No, it doesn't take 5 hours. It doesn't take like 5 hours to lose. It takes like 30 minutes or so. Maybe it just felt like 30 minutes because after a while I knew what was going to end up happening. But you got to walk down that road a bit. And it's an interesting storytelling, and it's just an interesting end to the story. You just know it's not the right end, so you don't want to go forward with it. Like, you feel like you're kind of wasting your time a bit because you just really want to just get back and go down the right path.
Okay, so controls, you just said you push X every now and then. You kind of just sit and watch.
Mm-hmm.
The plot seems intriguing. You said about 20 hours if you had to take a guess. $50 is quite a bit. Do you think that is worth it? I know you haven't finished it and you're halfway through, so it may be tough.
So visual novels are already like a niche market. Like, the people who want to play them, they're probably anime fans, and they eat this kind of stuff up. So I kind of approach this as like, am I the kind of person, if I were the kind of person who liked visual novels, would I enjoy this? And I have to say yes. This is about as close as you get. It's like the middle ground between like a VR movie and just like listening to like an audiobook or something like that. So there's a lot of content, a lot of story to follow, and a lot of story to experience. And so that, to me, warrants the asking price. The production is really nice. The character models are all interesting. It's well written, which is really surprising. Like, these things, the writing is the entire game, and the writing is good, and it's interesting, and the plot is interesting. And, here's the thing about these anime games, though, is they all kind of start off the same way. It's always high school kids, and they're always trapped somewhere. I'm talking about like Persona. I'm talking about Danganronpa. I'm talking about even like Attack on Titan. Some of these famous animes, it's always about like a group of high school kids that are more or less trapped somewhere, and then they got to try to figure out who the bad guy is in the group among them. But there is another weird thing about these Japanese games where they all start with the same kind of story, and it seems like hackneyed and overused, and then they go down the path and they do something weird with the story that makes it really unique and really interesting. And you see this kind of thing with games like Deadly Premonition, where like, oh, it is literally just like a ripoff of Twin Peaks. But then as you go down the story, you're like, oh, yeah, it's inspired by Twin Peaks, but the rest of the story is actually really, really, really good and worth experiencing. That's what I'm getting from this game. It starts off just like every other anime I've ever watched. But now we're getting down into it, and I'm starting to recognize like character traits that aren't just rote and typical, and I'm starting to realize the story has some uniqueness to it that kind of gets me excited. Adam, I know you don't watch anime. Anybody out there who watches anime every once in a while, there was that anime Death Note. I'm getting Death Note vibes from this, and it's kind of enjoyable. I'm enjoying it.
Okay,
so yeah, the answer is, if you're a visual novel fan or anime fan, $50, it's a very steep price. That's a question you're gonna have to answer for yourself. I'm gonna say wait for a sale, but it really, this is right up somebody's alley, and they probably won't be disappointed with it because it's good writing and it's good characters. And there's some of those like anime girls that are like busty and stuff, but I don't think they're in like bikinis or anything.
Okay, well, you kind of already answered my next question. So now I'm going to say for the average gamer, say someone like me who isn't an anime fan, who doesn't detest this stuff, I think the plot does sound interesting. At what point would you think that someone like me or an average gamer, it would be worth to take the risk for this game? What price?
Man, that's a really tough call. My first reaction is like $20 because you're getting a fully written story, a fully written experience out of here, and it just keeps getting better and better the further I go into it. Now, it's really kind of unfair, I have to admit, that I haven't finished the game, so I don't know how the story resolves. I haven't finished the entire story, so maybe it's just really awful. But I'm the kind of guy that can appreciate the story, even if the ending is bad. You can appreciate everything that leads up to it, and I'm really enjoying everything that's leading up to it. So average gamer who's willing to go out on a limb and give this kind of game a chance and doesn't mind just a purely story-driven game with very little interaction, $20. If you are like Adam and you're ready to crap on anything that is even the slightest bit imperfect, then you're going to have to wait like $10 or something like that.
Okay, but, so you said $20. I'll wait for until it's about $2.50.
Yeah, I know you, Adam.
That's right. Okay, so very quickly, I want to go ahead and talk about really the only game. I haven't really played anything, to be quite honest. I've been in a little PSVR rut, but I did play the latest Beat Saber songs. I'm not going to really harp on it. They're okay. They're definitely not as good as the original soundtracks. They are much better than the Monster Scat pack. The Imagine Dragons, I'm definitely not going to purchase. One thing I do like about them, though, is you can now change your Beat Saber colors. That's cool. They have different backgrounds. There's definitely some updates that I don't know why those couple features haven't come out sooner, but, whatever. They're now here. And the songs are a lot more reasonably, in terms of difficult. So one of my complaints in the past was that the newer songs, they intentionally made way more difficult so that hard was actually like expert, or expert was actually like expert plus. Like they were just what they said the difficulty was. It was way harder than it should have been. Here, they toned it back. I believe that hard really is like a hard difficulty. Expert is expert. Something kind of small, but I'm just like, if you're going to have 5 different difficulties, like stick to the difficulties. Don't make them intentionally harder when you have 5 difficulties. But regardless, some decent songs in there. It's free, so if you haven't played those, it's definitely worth to go and play. I thought way better than Monster Scat, but not quite as good as Crab Rave or Country Roads or some of the other classics that were in some of the other soundtracks.
Are you at all interested in the new game coming out, Audica or something like that? It's Beat Saber, but you're shooting instead, and it's made by the people who did Guitar Hero.
I like Beat Saber enough that I would definitely give it a try. Like, I don't know what your issue is. I really like Beat Saber. It's very good. I do find that it is a lot more about the music to me than I thought it would. I was like, oh, who cares? Even if it's not a good song, you're just sitting there beating sticks and, cutting blocks. But the music essentially makes or break the song or the whole game, actually. You mentioned that in the past. I didn't believe you, but you were right. I'll have to give you credit on it. So that is the one hesitancy anyone should have in like a game like that, is because if they don't have good songs, it's not probably going to be fun. But to me, it would be worth the risk playing that. I don't know when it's supposed to be released, but I'll keep my eyes out. I
think they said fall, so probably pretty soon here, at least in 2019. So we had a handful of game announcements coming through recently, and that's one. I'm a big fan of harmonics. I thought Guitar Hero was great. I thought that Rock Band was great. I even like the VR music thing that they did that nobody else enjoyed when the PSVR first came out. So I'm all aboard whatever they want to do in VR. It's probably going to be way better than Beat Saber because I hate Beat Saber. I said it. I hate it.
I hate you. And I've been told that you've got to play a little bit of a game that you did in the past that I'm a big fan of you playing this game because it's so stupid.
Yeah, here we go. Konrad the Kitten Diary, Day 2, coming up right now. Yeah, so I was playing on the weekend. I was playing No Man's Sky, and my daughter came up. She woke up and came upstairs and started pestering me. And I thought, hey, you know what? Just so she knows what's going on, she doesn't think her dad is crazy. I took the headset off and I put it on her and made her play a little bit of No Man's Sky. She's 3 years old. She doesn't know what she's doing. And it was really cool. She was like, oh, wow, I'm somewhere else. And I was like, yeah, you are somewhere else. And she enjoyed it. And then I took the headset off and set it aside, and she really wanted to play later that day. And so she really likes kittens for some reason. I hate cats. She really likes kittens for some reason. And so I thought, well, hey, I have Konrad the Kitten. Let's make this happen. And so I put Konrad the Kitten on my daughter's I played Konrad the Kitten with my daughter. She played the VR headset. She's picking up the cat, setting him in boxes, setting him down to eat and stuff like that, playing mini games where you got to like catch mice and things like that. It's a really, yeah. So Konrad the Kitten, I really did not give this game the justice and the just desserts that this game deserves. It is a really fun game. It's really enjoyable. I think they pro patched it so it just looks better. Like, it's not super realistic graphics, but it's just sharp looking. If you got to have your camera set up right. When I first played it, my camera was way too high, so it was really weird for the game to figure out where my floor is. This game, you have to have your camera sitting up somewhere so that you can angle your camera down and you can get a good view of the floor that you're playing on. And you set a pillow on the floor, and you sit on that pillow, and you do not get up from that pillow. And then you set your Move controller on the floor, and it calibrates where the floor is in your room, and you can play the entire game without getting up off the pillow. And if you do that, if you follow the game's rules for the setup, it is such an enjoyable title to play. But you're just doing stupid stuff. You have a cat, and you have the cat, and you look at him, it's like a Tamagotchi. He's hungry. Okay, let's go take him to eat. Oh, no, now the cat is he has to poop. You go take him to poop. And then little hearts fly out of him, and you collect the hearts, and he gets happier, or little tokens fly out. You collect the tokens. You go buy a new hat for your kitten. You go buy a new outfit for your kitten. You can actually trade your kitten for another kitten that has a different hairstyle. And so I don't know if it's still Konrad technically, because like Konrad's calico, and now suddenly Konrad is just black and white. But it's cool. So I just had a handful of mini games, but with my daughter playing through it, it's something she could really grab onto. She's 3 years old, and she can play my PSVR. It blew my mind, and she is enjoying the cat, and it's great. Also, Konrad, they added these kittens, Konrad's kittens. And so before, when you played Konrad the Kitten, after about 15 minutes, Konrad would be like, oh, I'm tired. But now when Konrad's tired, it just goes into nighttime mode. And nighttime mode means you go to a room, and there's little kittens. And the little kittens all have their own little game that they want to play with. And then you got to go to all the different areas in nighttime mode, and Konrad's holding a flashlight in his mouth, and you got to shine the flashlight and try to find the kittens that ran away and are hiding. And you could just keep playing for hours and hours. And I found myself telling my daughter, no, sit down, stop playing. It's my turn to play. It's my turn to play Konrad the Kitten, and you watch me. That's what you're going to do right now. You're going to watch me play Konrad the Kitten. They got a mini game. It's like a snow level. And it's basically like a light gun game. You are Konrad, and you hold Konrad up and aim him at snowmen, and Konrad will throw a snowball at him, and they'll throw snowballs back at him, and you got to like shoot and then not get hit. And the games are simple. It's just charming, and it's cute, and it's easy, and it's good fun. And the more I play, I get new levels and new mini games, and I just want to keep going and keep going and keep going. Man, they pulled it off, Adam. Fusion Play, Konrad, they pulled it off. Konrad the Kitten is awesome.
This is why I don't trust anything you say. Regardless, I'm glad that you and your daughter can bond. Let me know if she goes blind, because she's not 12. But I probably don't put it on her very long. But
I put it on there as long as I need to get my rest. So she's in there for hours and hours.
Nice. She's in there right now.
She's in there right now. I have her sleep in it so that she gets used to it. I want her head to grow in the shape of a VR headset being on her face.
Ooh, that would be sweet.
Yeah. It just kind of bulges out the back.
Skinny, right?
Yeah. Just skinny and bulges out the back.
Okay. Well, I'm glad Konrad Kitten is a good game, though. I mean, it's so stupid of an idea that I love it. Like I told you, the game was very endearing, and I loved it when it first came out. I'd never played it. You got to play it, and then you screwed the pooch on doing your diary.
Day 2, baby.
Day 2. Like a year and a half later.
Here's the thing. Like, this game has been cheap on the sales, and I regret not having more to say about it at those times. Yeah, if the game has been under $10, it's definitely a purchase if you're at all interested in the cuteness.
Again, we're going to go back to the same question. Average gamer, imagine me.
Yeah, man. You play for 10 minutes a day. It's like it's that kind of thing that I like about Zing, where it's kind of meditative. You know, you got like this healthy experience. It's just good for your soul. This game is good for your soul, man. All this scary stuff, Resident Evil, all this like high tension stuff like Wipeout. No, man, this game you sit on a pillow and you just pick up a cat and feed him and stuff and just have a good time with him. Nobody's fighting, arguing here. There's no challenge. I mean, there's little mini games and stuff, but if you fail, it's whatever, man. You got Konrad by your side. He's never going to leave you. Just make sure he poops and drinks his water and takes a bath.
Dude, I swear you could relax with a popsicle stick up your butt.
I do. That's how I do. That's how I relax, Adam.
It does surprise me. Okay, what's next?
What's next on the list, Adam? Okay, so you did the Farpoint challenge. I was jealous because J-Brat put together an awesome video, and that made me get off my butt, and so I completed the Farpoint challenge. The video is not out yet, but it might be out by the time you guys hear this. Anyways, if it's not out, look for it. We'll be posting it and spreading it about on our channel. I'm sure J-Brat might have it on his channel too. Either way, I completed the Farpoint challenge. I'm not going to spoil the ending for you guys, but I will spoil one thing. Adam, I have a pet rabbit. And I usually like to let him run free when I play VR because he likes to come up and like nudge my feet and stuff, and it's cute and it's fun and it feels good. But I was in the middle of playing Farpoint during the Farpoint challenge, and my screen went completely blank. Completely blank. And I take off the headset, and what do I see? I see a rabbit with a wire in his mouth. My damn rabbit chewed through my cables.
I won the challenge!
My damn rabbit chewed through my cables, Adam.
First of all, how did he not get electrocuted?
I don't think it's that high a voltage. End of the story. He didn't chew all the way through. He chewed through it enough to where if the wire is sitting in a particular way, then no signal can get through and the VR headset is off. But if I can bend it just right, then it works totally fine and normal. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do right now. I thought maybe I should just strip the wire and try to repair it myself, but I'm not that smart and I'm not that handy. So I put painter's tape or something. I didn't have electrical tape. I put painter's tape around it, and so tried to keep it from moving that way. It's not going to work. Adam, I'm losing my VR headset very soon, and I don't know what to do about it. And the other thing is, I moved him, so I shoved him. I was like, get away from here, man. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. Now he cannot stay away from the VR wires now when I'm playing PSVR. I'm trying to play Tokyo Chronos, sitting there for 3 hours going through the story with my anime babe next to me, sitting on the bed next to me, talking to me about how much she secretly loves me, and got a rabbit cutting the feed right when I want it the most, man.
Well, looks like I better have won the challenge since you lost your headset mid-game.
Well, you're just going to have to see the video to find out what happens, Adam.
Well, I want to say it. And that sucks. You're going to have to buy a new headset.
So I still have my old headset from way back, the original headset.
V1.
Yeah, and that's exactly. You told me to keep it just in case of emergencies, and I always thought it was funny. It was like, oh, what's an emergency? Oh, I need the headset now. Well, guess what? It's an emergency. It's a rabbit emergency. I need the headset now. I need it ASAP.
Yeah.
Can the old headset work with the new? Oh, maybe not. I was going to say, can the old headset work with the new V2 breaker box? Oh, no. I'm just going to have to buy a version 2 headset. Oh, my God. Thank God I'm a millionaire. I could just buy as many of these as I want.
Just buy Sony.
Yeah. Why am I worried about this? I should just buy Sony. Buy
Sony.
We're already Sony's official Play PSVR podcast. I should just buy Sony.
Get rid of the rabbit.
No, man. He's a member of my family now.
Trade the rabbit for a kitten. Everyone knows cats are better.
Shut up. I'll trade the rabbit for a headset, if anything.
Dude, no.
I'm going to put it on Facebook Marketplace.
Get a kitten and name him Konrad.
One fat rabbit, price $350. Anything. See if anybody will take it.
What? No effing way.
I'm going to try to sell my rabbit for $350. That way I can buy a new headset with that money.
You don't need that much for a headset. I was just talking to you about this like a month ago. You need like $150.
I don't buy used garbage, Adam. I told you I'm high class. I'm a millionaire. I only buy new things.
Oh my gosh, this is almost unbearable. Okay, well, I don't know. Okay, you're a fool. I got one question for you, then we're going to go to a break. So you now have No Man's Sky, which has infinity hours. You have Tokyo Chronos, which impressively you've put 10 hours in. I really didn't think you'd even get that far.
It's a big effort.
You have 10 to go. You have Astrobot you need to finish. You have To the Top you haven't finished. You have The Persistence, which you haven't finished. You're catching my drift here. There's a lot of quality you have not finished. So you know the train's not going to stop. So my question to you is, and this isn't a hypothetical, this is a realistic question, Alex. You have limited time. You have a backlog. Prioritize for me. What is the top game that you are going to prioritize to finish? And then if you could list maybe 2 or 3, but mainly that top one, I want to know for you and why. Maybe it's Tokyo Chronos because you could just sit there and be a lazy effing bum. I don't know.
Yeah, so this is what I do every week when I sit down and look at my video game library. I try to prioritize what am I going to play next, and I get choice paralysis. But Tokyo Chronos is high on the list because Tokyo Chronos is the kind of game where if you stop, it's all about story. And if I stop following the story, then there's no way I can continue and I'll have to start all the way over. I'm in this deep. I need to just finish it. Not only because 1, I just got to chug through, power through. I like the story. I'm ready to go along with it. But 2, I feel like it's going to be a pretty easy platinum if I do that. That's my best chance of getting my next platinum. So that is priority number 1. Tokyo Chronos is what I'm going to next. No Man's Sky, that's never going to get finished. So it's like, I play it every once in a while. It's fun. I played with our homeboy Chucky. I felt bad. I had to bounce pretty quick. I felt even worse because I played with Sebastian for like 20 seconds and then left. But people join me like right as I'm going to sleep. But whatever. It's cool to see people. I love that they can pop in and play. I'd made no progress in No Man's Sky because I started my character on your planet, Adam, and so none of the waypoints worked. And so there's that one where it's like you need to go find – I don't even know, like the way you get the hyperdrive. I couldn't get hyperdrive. So I was stuck in this 1-star system. I even bought hyperdrive upgrades. I saved up all my money to buy hyperdrive upgrades, but I didn't have the hyperdrive to begin with. So I was just stuck, man. I was mining. I'd getting freaking rich for a small-time miner.
Well, I had to look up how to find it.
Okay.
So maybe you have to go to one specific spot where there's like a crash site, I think.
Yeah. So I did that.
It wasn't clear, and I had to look it up online. So you may have to look up how to do it. But
well, okay, I found the crash site now. So yeah, not that Astrobot. It's so far out, man. I probably could finish it in like a day. I should do that. Honestly, I want to do more Scraper. That was really good. What was the other game I played recently that I thought was really, really fun? Oh, I can't even remember, man. Adam, talk to me. What games have we reviewed recently?
First of all, I cannot believe that.
Oh no, this is it. This is it. Yeah.
Chronos is your first game you're gonna finish.
I have not because it's my favorite. It's just I need to play it while it's hot. I got to strike while the iron's hot, man. Borderlands 2. That's a game I need to get to ASAP because the DLC is coming out for it as well. I love Borderlands 2 with the aim controller. It feels so good. It makes me feel so nice in my body. I just got to get ready for it.
There are so many things. There's so many games that you're, the Persistence is great, but you haven't even finished it. Okay, so let's look at this. So you have Angry Birds. You have Saber. We have Telefrag. I'm going through some of the latest games. Oh, Sorrento? Were you going to
that? Yeah, it's so good. Oh, man.
See, you couldn't even think about it, but I'm not. I know. I put you on the spot here. Project Luck. Dude, Luna is a solid game. I didn't play it. Mars Alive. Did you finish that?
I want to finish that.
See, it's just like you're an idiot. So
So Mars Alive, after playing Solus Project, it's like, okay, Mars Alive is like a low rent Solus Project, and Solus Project is kind of like a low rent No Man's Sky, but at least those have endings, and No Man's Sky really kind of doesn't. So maybe I could Mars Alive. I kind of like the jank about it. I don't know, man. But now Sirento, Borderlands 2, those are some big boys that I really want to get to ASAP. And
I just don't know how you haven't finished Astrobot. It's such a short game, especially if you aren't trying to platinum it.
Yeah, Astrobot came out. I got Astrobot around the same time that there were some other heavy hitters coming out that I had to sink time into. I think the demo for Tetris Effect came out at a similar time, and I had to make sure I stomped you so badly in that you suddenly don't like Tetris Effect anymore, and that worked.
No, that Astrobot wasn't out at the same time.
Felt like it.
No, it was definitely later, dude.
Or was it Transpose came out of I don't know. Transpose.
Have you finished Transpose?
I did finish Transpose. I got everything in that game. I love that game. Here's the thing. I got Blood and Truth, and I've not touched it.
Oh my gosh.
It's $20 now, by the way, at Target or Walmart or something. Or no, GameStop. I have Blood and Truth. That's the game. Sorry. I don't feel like playing it, man. That game doesn't get me excited.
I mean that's fair. If it doesn't, then you really do. When you're limited, you have to pick and choose, and if it's not on your
Adam, here's what I want to ask you. Knowing that I'm a man of limited time, the only free time I have in my life, I spend podcasting with you. How am I supposed to get through these? How am I supposed to get through a full game? Talk to me.
I don't know. You gotta sit down and freaking do it. So first of all, you need to throw away your childish ambitions and your very emotional responses to things. So when you're playing Moss and Moss falls into the water and drowns and you cry for 45 minutes and you feel her pain, don't do that. Just move on. Be like, idiot, and then move on. Okay?
I need to separate myself from the emotion of the games. Okay, so I need to eliminate the core element that makes VR more enjoyable than most games. Okay, yeah, go for it.
Absolutely. 2, you sit down and do it. You need to come up, what are the best games? That is what you need to play. You need to play the best games. I could spend hours, and I have spent hours and hours in 18 floors, and those were some of the worst hours of my life. And you're not choosing to play bad games, but you have such a backlog. You have to finish Astrobot. You argue that is one of the top 3 games for the PSVR, and that Astrobot should be like a mascot for Sony. Yet you haven't finished it. You are a hypocrite.
No. You don't have to finish a game to declare how great it is. I say Astrobot's one of the best because I can play those first, however many levels. If there's 10 levels, I've played 80% of the game. I could play those levels over and over again and enjoy it. Who cares? The last 2 levels could be the worst thing in the entire world. I'd still think the game's a masterpiece. It's like listening to an album and declaring, hey, this is one of the best albums I have ever heard, even though I hate song number 7 and song number 2.
See, I'll argue with you that if it were really as great as you're saying, you would have finished it. You would have prioritized it. That would be like if I'm playing Resident Evil and I was telling you how it was the best game and I got close to the end or whatever, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? Now I'm going to go and play Tumblr VR.
It's like if you got Resident Evil and you said it was one of the best games.
You would have finished it.
It's like, what if you said Resident Evil was one of the best games and then free DLC came out that's an extra 2 hours long and you refuse to even touch it? You stooge.
I have it. I just haven't played it yet.
Exactly.
I'm scared.
I'm scared.
So I believe I'm definitely one who believes that I can't hear what you're saying because your actions are too loud. You have told me that you do not think that those previous games must hold. They're not as good as you're saying they are. And so you don't want to play. But Tokyo Chronos, I understand. I don't know why you don't play the Persistence. I don't know why people don't understand that To the Top is the best game we have on the system. Or at least very, very good. Don't shake your head. You haven't even played the credits. crap do I hate you? You're agreeing with me. You haven't even played the freaking game.
I declared it Game of the Year.
I hate you.
I have played it. No, I've put my hours into To the Top, man. I just haven't.
Pilgrims.
Well, yeah, and Cold City Canyon or whatever it is.
What? Cold Iron?
Well, I mix up that and Copper City Canyon, Silver City Canyon, Silver City Shootout.
I don't know. So we're
Copper Canyon Shootout.
Yeah, whatever. We're getting off track. Okay, so here's what I want. The fans, I want you to tweet us or Reddit us or email us. Do whatever. Tell Alex what he should play. So most of the big hitters he hasn't finished, and you prioritize for him. And I think we should do a Twitter poll of all the games, top-notch games that you've...
You can only do 4.
Okay, 4. We'll pick 4. And then whatever one the fans choose, you have to finish. No dicking around.
They're going to pick Firewall.
No having rabbits chew your cord so you don't have to play it and you have an excuse to go and touch yourself. You have to play it.
Okay. I think I like this. I need you to think of a good punishment that I can agree to. That way I feel motivated to finish it. Because if I don't have a carrot out there hanging out in front of me, actually carrots work very poorly on me. I need something that's going to make me want to do it, because if it happens to me or it happens to you and I actually beat the game. Adam, I need your ass on the line here too.
Well, here's the thing. So you aren't going to beat me in the Platinum Challenge. I haven't got Platinum.
Oh, that is to be seen. I have a game plan, man. I have a backup plan to the backup plan, and it's going to back up my backup plan, man. I got this on lock. You are screwed. Trust me.
Sure.
Trust me. Trust. Brother, trust. How many platinums you have? Because you better have 14, buddy, because I am coming hard.
I don't have 14. I've got like 7.
Not going to be enough, buddy. Not going to be enough. It's only September, man, and I'm getting loose.
If you lose the Platinum Challenge and you don't do this fan poll, finish the game, whatever, you have to Platinum Firewall.
No, see, I need something external to that, because it's like the punishment for not playing enough video games is you have to play more video games.
No, you don't have to play video game. You have to play a crappy video game.
No, but it's like I'll just be like, okay, I don't have time to do it. No, we need something that sucks.
Huh. Okay, well, I'll have to think about it.
I think it's going to be those jelly beans, man, which I still have to eat like 10 of them, I think. But,
maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, I should make a gamer juice for you.
Oh, my God, that is it. Oh, my God.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Dude, it is going to be bad.
My only requirement is that it doesn't spoil when you mail it to me.
Oh, I was going to have you make it live.
Okay. How about I was going to say, how about you send the recipe to my wife and she can make it for me, and then I'll drink it as a surprise, and then after I sip it, you tell me what's in it. Oh, my God.
Okay.
But then what if I win? Then I do that to you? I don't know your wife's number. I'll text your mom.
Text your mom. She's the one that's around more often. Okay, so that sounds like a decent game plan. I like it.
All right. Adam, let's end this segment so we have energy for the next segment whenever we record it in like 3 days. You good?
Yeah.
All right, guys. We will see you after the break.